Brutally honest manifestation advice you need to know now. Hey guys, hope you're well. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you a few pieces of advice where I'm not going to be holding back on anything. I will be very, very honest and super open about these particular pieces so that you are not wasting your time with the same things that I have in my past when it comes to the manifestation journey or some of my clients have. The worst thing that I see as a coach is someone who has spent a lot of time trying to do something without having the proper guidance and the direction to do it. The worst situation that is there for clients is not that their circumstances are difficult, it's not that they are struggling through something, it is that they have been trying something for years, have been telling themselves that I'm doing this correctly, but it turns out that what they were doing was actually not going in the direction that they wanted, right? More important than how you do something is what matters is what are you doing and what are the things that you are going after. Mark Manson said that, and it's something that has always stuck in my mind. So keeping that in mind, here are a few pieces of advice that if you actually keep in your mind, you apply in your life, you will definitely get better results in not just one area but all areas of your manifestation journey. Number 1, you will need action to manifest. Now, I will be talking about two things. I will be talking about relationships and I will talk about work. There is this common theme where people talk about that you don't need to actually act or you don't need to take any action in order to manifest. I'm here to tell you that's not true. Let me clarify a few things. Where this comes from is from the statement that Neville Goddard talks about, where he says that you don't need to lift a finger if you want to manifest. This statement is taken out of context many a times because people only read this statement. In that moment, it makes me feel good about the things that I'm doing and it supports the claim that I want to make for myself. So I actually end up following it and it turns out something that doesn't truly help me. When Neville Goddard talked about you don't need to lift a finger, what that means is there wouldn't be a need for you to manipulate anything in order for you to get what you want. There wouldn't be a need for you to try to make things happen, to orchestrate the how in order for you to get what you want. And that is absolutely true. When I say that action is needed to manifest, it comes down to two things. Number 1, when it comes to work, eventually, if you are wanting to be someone, right? Instead of just listening to content, listen to people who actually have it. I'm not talking about me, but I'm talking about where you aspire to be. So if you want to be rich, then think about Elon Musk. If you want to be successful in athletics, then think about your favorite athlete. All the people, and even you, if you were the version of yourself who had what you want, and you were that successful in that area, you would have the tools that are needed to get that success. If I want to be a businessman, for example, I would have the tools that a businessman has. I would need to work on developing those tools now. If I want to become a doctor, I will just think about this. Will you go to a doctor who says that, oh, you know what, I imagined and I opened a clinic? No, you will go to a doctor who is qualified because they have put in the work to become that person. Now, what that means is when we say that you don't have to lift a finger, is that eventually when you will be putting the action towards this, it wouldn't feel like work because you would be doing it to become the version of you for whom that work would be effortless, right? If I want to become a businessman, as I said, I would need to learn how to do business. If I want to be successful as an athlete, I would need to know how to play the sport. When I'm putting in the work towards that, that's not me trying to manipulate something. That's me gathering skills that will help me become that person who I'm wanting to be. So action is needed. Your beliefs are also needed. So visualization helps when my actions are in alignment to it. That's the thing that will help you get to the place where you want to be way faster than just imagining it. In fact, just sitting there imagining it can actually become an escape for me to put in the work that I need to put in because I will feel that I'm doing something when a lot of times I'm not, right? When it comes to relationships, inaction is most important action that you can take. What that means is the less that you can try to do things, the better it becomes. Inaction also is something that takes a lot of effort. Ask anyone, you yourself, if you have ever struggled with putting up a boundary in a relationship or not trying to stalk your specific person. it is very, very hard to do because inaction is also important, right? So inaction in itself is an action that you will need to take in relationships, that will be needed, right? The second point, chasing never works. Any kind of desperation will never work, I can tell you that for sure. It will give you probably results for a short amount of time, it will never result into the full thing. For example, chasing in relationships, it will never get you what you want, right? What matters is first how you define what your success is. Your success should mean that my success is that I never have to worry about this topic again. Your success shouldn't be that I get this thing for a while and then it goes away because I never changed myself. The more I can understand that chasing will never work, the more I will be able to spend my time on things that are actually important for me. And I would be able to improve my self concept along the way. And I would be able to work on myself in a way where the results become permanent, right? So chasing never works. In that moment, it feels good. You might get some small results out of it. It doesn't turn into something substantial or sustainable. The next one, self concept work is not a want, self concept work is a need. You will not be able to attain sustainable results without working on your self concept. It is very important to understand. Think about it this way. Let's say you have a boat, right? And you are in the water, and that boat has a small hole in the middle. Now you can keep putting the water out, but unless and until you first work on fixing that hole, you will forever keep on putting the water out. That will happen if you don't work on your self concept. If there are things that you need to focus on when it comes to your self concept, unless you fill that hole and work on that, you will constantly keep on trying to solve these issues, which wouldn't be there if your self concept work was in line. Working on your self concept is a need, it's not something that you can choose to do or not to do if you want sustainable results. The next thing, self concept work might change what you want. And this is something that a lot of people get tripped up about, especially when it comes to manifesting a specific person. Now, when you're going after manifesting a specific person, there are multiple ways and multiple reasons why we can actually do that. It can come out of love, it can come out of attachment, it can come out of a conditioning that we have inside of ourselves, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say and this is an example of one of my previous clients. So I had this client who, this was her first relationship and she got involved with this guy, right? Not even a relationship, she met this person and she got involved with him. And they got intimate. After getting intimate, this guy, like, they were not committed, right? And in her mind, in this my client's mind, she had this conditioning that, if you get intimate with someone, you need to get this person because I will not be valued if I am someone who has been intimate, right? This was a conditioning that she had developed from her mom. She kept on going after this guy, not because she wanted to, but because she thought that this conditioning is true, right? The more she worked on this and realized that being intimate is a choice and that doesn't affect her value as a human being, and her mom gave her this conditioning that she does not need to follow now, she stopped wanting to go after this person at all. This can happen in other situations too. Working on your self concept might make it happen, and you need to be open about the fact that it does. You might not, there will be a lot of people who will not like it right now, right? They will say that, oh, he doesn't know what kind of situation I have. He doesn't know. Of course I don't know your situation, but I know that there are instances when you can just be super attached to someone just because of your own insecurities. I was involved and attached to a person very, very deeply in my life, where I thought that if I don't get this person in my life, I will not be able to succeed in love at all. And now I'm in a very healthy relationship. The only reason I was going after this person to begin with was because I was coming from my past conditioning, where I thought that no one will ever like me. So when a girl came and liked me, I thought that this is the only girl that would. And because of that, I kept chasing her. When I worked on myself, I realized that, oh, I was just chasing her because of this, right? And just like everyone, they all come back. Like, that's what self concept work does. But I didn't care, like, because I understood why I was going after it. So keeping an open mind there is very important. The last but not the least, a very important one. No one cares if you have your manifestation for a day. No one cares it. No one cares about it, neither will you. This goes to the same point. Quick fixes don't work, right? I was talking to one of my clients. She was involved in a situationship with a person. And what her issue was that she used to create this boundary with this person that, hey, I'm looking for something more. And that this guy used to say, okay. 2 days later, this guy used to text her again. She used to go back to the same pattern, and it kept on going for years. She said, boundaries don't work for me, right? Because I put up a boundary, but he comes back. But what she was missing was that her boundary was firm on the first try, but it wasn't firm on the second time that this person comes back, right? It used to give her this validation for a day that this guy is coming. She kept telling herself, oh, this is movement, this is movement. When all it was this guy was coming with the same thing and she was accepting the similar thing. It kept on going for years till she finally realized that if she keeps on accepting this, all she's getting is what she wants for one day. If she creates a boundary right now and she works on herself, what she wants will come for years. No one cares, neither will you, if you get what you want for a day. It will just give you this validation for a day, for a week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, for 6 weeks. What you want is forever. You don't want money for a day or 2 days. You want money for a long period of time in your life. You don't want to be in a loving relationship for a week. You want to be in a loving relationship that lasts your lifetime. Focus on that. Make your goal that. Keep your intention towards that. That is what we want to achieve. So I hope these tips help you, and I hope that this gives you some perspective, because you deserve a lot of results. You deserve a lot of success. You are the one who is standing in the way of it. So don't. You have an option. I will see you guys in the next video and hope you have a great day.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you liked the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.